everyone, my name is Krista and I am an English teacher, and today I want to show you how I use CoGrader when I am working on reflective essay writing with my students. So first of all, here we are inside my CoGrader classroom, and I have pulled up the assignment reflective essay. The essay prompt it's rather lengthy, so I'll just give you the highlights. Think about a specific moment when you first realized you were no longer a child, a pivotal experience that marked your transition toward adulthood. Your essay should ground the reader in a specific scene using narrative elements, examine your thoughts and emotions during this moment, reflect on the experience, and then analyze how the moment continues to influence your growth. I also wanted students to work on creating an authentic personal voice where it is showing their real personality through writing. Now, this was my prompt that I gave to students. And now I'm ready to get it graded. So I select high school level, and with my rubric, this time what I'm going to use, a rubric I actually created in CoGrader. So let me show you what that looks like. And what I did just before sitting down to have CoGrader give feedback on this work is I just clicked create rubric and then create manually, and then I put in my criteria here and then my descriptions for each of the levels. It was super easy, and I just took it from some notes that I had handwritten and typed them in here, saved it, and then it gets saved into my rubrics. You can see that tab up here. So this is the rubric that I want to use. I want to make sure that it looks exactly the way I remembered it, and it looks great, so let's select it. Now I'm going to import the assignments and grade. And when I see that this is ready to be reviewed, I go ahead and click, and let's take a look at the summary. So this student ended up writing about when he realized that his parents, specifically his mom, is not perfect, and the realizations that uncovered for him. So CoGrader gave the student a 64.1 out of 80, and the summary basically says that the essay really has a great personal, authentic voice. It focuses on a pivotal moment, but it needs to go a little bit deeper. Of course, I love the glow here. That is just emphasizing that the student does have a personal and authentic voice, and the grow really addresses in a little bit more detail what the summary says. So the grow here says you should explore more about how witnessing your parents' vulnerability impacted your own growth and understanding of adulthood. I always love the think about it questions because it helps the student figure out what can they do to improve this grow and turn it into a glow. I'm just going to add a question here for the think about it section. We never have too many questions that the student should think about to improve their writing. Okay, so I went ahead and consider adding a childhood fear as a way to contrast it to the fear your mom was showing. This will show a mature insight on the childhood adulthood differences. So I think this is an important thing for the student to consider. It's going to allow the student a chance to say, here's what I used to be afraid of, but wow, here is this big thing that my mom is afraid of right now. And so it's showing that transition from childhood to adulthood. Down here into the rubric, personal voice and authenticity. CoGrader says the student did a great job of really having that authentic voice, but could use more sensory details and reflections on how this moment changed your perception. I think this is really solid evidence. I'm going to leave it. The depth of reflection criteria, CoGrader says that you should explore more about how witnessing your parents' vulnerability impacted your own growth and understanding of adulthood. This passage quotes the kid's final line in his essay as mom got the promotion, by the way, but that's not really the point of the story. I actually really like that ending, but I'm going to go ahead and add a detail in here that I want him to, before he says that, to explicitly say what this taught him about his parents and growing up. So I added in here, add a detail about what this revelation taught you. This will demonstrate emotional growth. For structure and organization, I really liked the abrupt transition that the student included in their essay. And so I changed the score from CoGrader 16 to 20. And I explained to the student that I like how it shows a dramatic change is coming because of the dramatic abrupt transition. The detail and description section is really solid, 20 out of 20, and just says the student did a great job of having really vivid details and descriptions in his writing. Now, just for fun, what if we change the kind of language CoGrader uses to give this student feedback? Down here, you can put in a lot of different things. Sometimes I've said, make it whimsical. Sometimes I just say more. I need more detail here. But what if we said, write this using Gen Alpha slang? Let's see what happens. All right, let's take a look. So back in the summary here, your essay is lit with a personal and authentic voice, capturing your feels and experiences during a pivotal moment. To make it even more fire, dive deeper into how this moment shifted your understanding of adulting and your place in the world, and work on making those paragraph transitions smoother. Glow, you totally nailed using your own voice to spill the tea on your feels and what went down during a big moment in your life. True or false, students are going to read this and they're absolutely going to cringe. But you know what? They're going to be very, very engaged in this feedback. Whenever I use this in my classroom, my students get so excited to read their feedback. And isn't that what we want? Like, we want them to be excited to read their feedback. So if you want to add a little bit of a silly or more engaging or whimsical or cringy vibe to your feedback, you can always go down here and just put in exactly what you want. Or you could go the direct opposite way and say, make this stricter. And then you can really just be very strict, serious kind of teacher voice. Either way, CoGrader is an amazing tool to get feedback to students in a quick and efficient way. So that is just one way that I use CoGrader in my classroom. I hope that was helpful, and I hope you give this a try in your classroom and see exactly what kind of excellent feedback your students can get super quick.